Huh? You do that.
In July of 2010, my father and I traveled to Zimbabwe on a mission trip. We were going to Senyati Village, a Baptist mission built around a hospital and nursing college.
Senyati is a small mission village that was established by the Baptist Church in the 1950s. There's a hospital with an adjacent school of nursing. There's a primary school, there's a secondary school, there's a church.
My father travels each summer to Senyati to teach the nursing students and help the community at large.
My role with the School of Nursing, faculty and students, when I go, it's right near the end of a term, so my opportunity to do a whole lot of teaching is limited because of that. I typically will pick up a topic or two and teach the students, again working with the faculty. It's a way to give the faculty respite. There are 4 faculty with the school, and so they do all of the teaching. So my going in and teaching a lecture or two gives them a respite, and they can take care of some other responsibilities.
While we are in Senyati, we stay with a host family inside the village.
My host family, or the Matisi family, husband, wife, 3 children. Mr. Matisi is the hospital administrator, a position he's been in for several years. He's very well respected in Zimbabwe as a large. As we travel to Harare and to outside cities, I see that he is well known and very well respected. Ms. Matisi is the equivalent to assistant principal at the primary school, and she also teaches special education.
Mr. Matisi asked if I would help get the word out about the conditions and supplies of the hospital and clinics. Not knowing what to expect, I jumped in with both feet, eager to help out the people of Senyati. What I saw shocked me. Operating rooms with very little equipment, group hospital rooms with little more than beds, a generator used regularly due to the lack of electricity.
Is it run on petrol? Diesel? Diesel.
Even the ambulance shocked me.
Is this from water?
Yeah. Damaged by water.
There's a lot of disrepair and things that need to be improved and fixed, but there was much more of that than I anticipated. In Zimbabwe, the availability of medications is very limited, as with other things.
How are you?
His name is Spencer.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Right. This is our pharmacy department, and that is where we dispense our drugs.
This is our warehouse.
Wow.
That's where we stock our drugs before we transfer them to the dispenser. Unfortunately, the room is so hot we don't have air conditioning. Yeah, these fans don't work, and if they work, they still don't do much.
Suppose they should be the ceiling, huh?
If we could get asbestos, it would be good.
Yeah, not zinc.
Zinc is not good, considering this August, September heat. It won't do good for our drugs.
So how hot does it get in here, usually?
When it's too hot, at times it gets up to 40 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty hot.
and that's just too much for drugs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They will degrade really fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The major obstacles for healthcare in Zimbabwe, number one I'll say is transportation. People don't go get healthcare because it's not accessible from a transportation standpoint. They are too sick to travel. I would say the next obstacle would be the lack of resources.
To help combat the lack of resources, the hospital has a local farmland called the Nutrition Village.
Is he hoping to? What are they hoping to do with this field?
Well, they're going to plant maize, all sorts of crops to help the hospital.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the main reason for the field, so that they can be self-sufficient on some of the things. Maize, making mealie meal, and the like. So they have to do it when the rain comes. Plant and put some maize crops, beans, peas, whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
The people in Zimbabwe and Sanyari specifically also rely heavily on livestock as a source of food. For the first time in 4 years, I got to visit all 6 clinics associated with the hospital. And so that was a real big, well, it was a real fun piece of it, because I knew the clinics existed, but had never visited all 6, and so I got to visit all 6 that time. The clinics are associated or in villages where they can serve about 10,000 to 15,000 people. And they really do have their own sort of unique personality because of the village that they're associated with. And I guess that was something that I hadn't anticipated, that they would have that sort of distinct personality. What was similar were the conditions. Each of them were sort of in a different state of repair depending on how recently monies or donations had been made so that renovations could take place. For example, at one of the 6 clinics, from 2009 to 2010, they had installed, I think it was about 12 solar panels to provide a source of electricity. That was the only clinic that had that supply source there. There was another clinic that had recent donations given so that they could improve the roofs and the gutters and the drainage system on the outside, so all of that looked very new and up to date. So there were differences, but not really dramatic, just unique differences depending on the supply of resources made available to them. They are totally reliant on the country governments to provide them with supplies or donations from outside organizations. The Italian Baptist Convention is a very active participant right now in Sanyari Village and Hospital and the activities. They provide resources, financial resources, to meet specific needs that the hospital administrator and staff identify for not just the hospital but for the clinics as well. They can always use medications, hospital supplies. Financial resources are always very helpful. It's difficult to get things into Zimbabwe for I guess the easy way to describe it is because of red tape. There is red tape to get things into the country, as there are in other countries. Financial resources are always helpful. If you can identify someone or an organization who is working with the nationals in the country, then that's an easy route to provide resources.